Welcome. Hey everybody, I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. I try to go live here every Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time. It's Friday. Happy Friday. We had something a little different this week. Let me just double check here so I know I'm seeing everybody. There we go. We had a little bit of a different schedule this week. We had to take baby Max, our tiny kitten, to the vet yesterday. Hey, Married with Chickens, thanks for joining me. So that was an ordeal, and I didn't really want to be distracted when I needed to go live, and I needed to give him 100% of my attention. So here I am. It's Friday. Hey, Linda, thanks for joining us. I was live last Thursday on my Facebook page, and this week we are back on YouTube. So welcome and thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a regular, welcome back. So every week I share some of the questions and answers I've received and given throughout the week or throughout the month. Hey, Helen, you made it. Welcome. I get questions all the time about different garden seed related questions. So I like to try and share some of the questions I received and then give you some of the answers. So while I'm live, you can always ask your questions and I will try to answer. Or you can send me an email to mary@marysheirloomseeds.com and I will answer it as quickly as possible. One thing I want to check on, let me fix it. Let me know. So before I get into the meat and potatoes of our video, I want to share with you a couple of our new arrivals and some exciting information here we have at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So a couple weeks ago, I shared with you one of the new items we have, and it is a towel that we had made locally. This is one of our new items at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. It's just a fun gift idea. It is one of the softest towels I've ever had. And the graphic here, my sister made for us with our logo here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. And we have these printed locally here at a local small business. So local small businesses all around, super excited about that. Next on the list of new stuff, if you have any questions, let me know while I'm chatting. It looks clear on my end, so hopefully it's not grainy for you. If it is difficult for you to see, let me know. Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining us. Another thing we have new at Mary's Heirloom Seeds is t-shirts. We're offering pre-orders of t-shirts as a special request. People have been asking, when can we get some Mary's Heirloom Seeds t-shirts? This is one of them. This is probably one of my favorites. Because it's a really simple graphic and it's Kelly green. So if you go to marysheirloomseeds.com, on the homepage, it's available for you to purchase. These are only available as a pre-order until September 11th. Today is August 26th, so you have about 2 weeks left to pre-order them. Whew. That's it for updates. I wanted to discuss, Alan says it looks pretty clear. Last fall, my carrot seeds took 6 weeks to sprout. Is that normal? Great question. Heat can slow down the germination of carrots, and also if you plant them too deep, it can slow the germination. So it just takes them longer to come up from the soil. So if you want to maybe reduce the length of time it takes for your carrot seeds to germinate. Now it does take a little while. I would say sometimes it can take 3 to 4 weeks for carrot seeds to germinate. So it's not too far off. Hey, Denise, thanks for joining us. 6 weeks isn't too far off, but it is a little long. So here is my suggestion for planting carrots. My suggestion is to sprinkle your carrot seeds over the top of your soil. Don't push them down into the soil, and then apply a light dusting of sand onto the top of your carrot seeds. That way, they're covered a little bit and they're not going to get sprayed off with rain or wind, but they're not too deep that they will have trouble germinating. Another thing you can do is, a couple months ago, I made carrot seed tape here on our YouTube channel. And that is a fantastic way of doing it. I had great results. Hey, Christian, welcome. I had great results with the carrot seed tape, and then you would lay that down on the ground on your soil, and then you would put a layer of cardboard on top, again, so that it doesn't fall, it doesn't get blasted away by either wind or rain. It does get kind of windy here in Texas. I know Alan's in Texas, and that will keep your carrot seed tape intact. And then you're just going to keep it watered and then remove that cardboard after a little while, and you should have germinated carrot seeds. So that is an excellent question, Alan. Thank you for asking. Now, another question that I received this week is about pollinators. So in January at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, we have Pollinator Month. I call it Plant for Pollinators Month at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and that is every January. So what I do in January is I answer a lot of questions about different types of pollinators, what you can plant for pollinators, and how you can create a healthy environment for your pollinators. Why are pollinators important? Pollinators are important because without them, about 2/3 of our food would not be available, or it wouldn't be available in the quantity that it is available currently. So that means 2/3 of your food, of our food in general that we eat, requires pollinators. So that's why pollinators are so important, and that's why we plant for pollinators. Now, I've been asked, well, why do you talk about pollinators in January when most people, hey Mary, thanks for joining us. Most people aren't planting in January. Unless you're in an area that doesn't get a lot of cold weather, like our Florida customers, you're not really planting in January. However, a lot of you, myself included, are planning our gardens in January. So we want to make sure we set aside a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot of space, but we do want to make sure that you leave some space to plant for pollinators. So that's important. And that's why we're going to talk about a little bit of pollinator information tonight. Humble servant, welcome, your first time. You had no luck with growing carrots, but this is your first year vegetable gardening to any extent. The ones that grew were stunted and short. Okay, so great comment. If you had trouble germinating, or like Alan asked earlier, he had trouble, it took too long, we have a video on carrot seed tape. Now, if you had stunted or short carrots, there's a couple reasons why that may be. Number one, if your soil is too compact, carrots will have a very difficult time growing down. Root crops in particular need light, fluffy soil. That is another thing. Humble servant said it was really hot. Carrots are cool weather crops, so you really want to plant them in very early spring or very late fall. They can tolerate a little bit of frost. As far as carrots go, you want to plant your seeds anywhere from 1 inch to 3 inches apart. Everybody's different. Everybody does it differently. I tend to overseed my beds because I can always pull the sprouts and eat them. So that's one thing that I always do is I overseed. You can do 1 per inch and then leave about 2 to 3 inches in between. It really depends on how you're growing. I use a square foot garden because a lot of our gardens are in raised beds. So we do have a square foot garden tutorial. We've got a square foot garden plant spacing chart. And in the description section of this video, I mention it every time I'm live, is our comprehensive planting guide. I say I created it, and it is pretty helpful. So in that comprehensive planting guide, you will find links to so much information. A lot of it I referenced during my videos. We have the square foot garden information about plant spacing. We've got a raised bed garden tutorial on how to build one. We've got information on what type of soil to use in a raised bed. So all that information is there. What is not in there, Joan says, thank you, Rock. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try. I'm just one woman doing all this crazy stuff, and we do have some new help recently, which is fantastic. I really appreciate the extra extra hands that we have. So let's talk about pollinators a little more. Humble Servant says, I built a very deep raised bed, made cores with compost and spaced them I don't know what core, sorry, I missed that. You made cores with compost and spaced them, like a block, and spaced them 3 inches apart. So again, it's going to depend on your soil. We use coconut core in some of ours, and like I said to Alan, you might want to try adding sand to the top layer of your soil. That will really help. If you've been using these beds over a period of time, sometimes they tend to get a little compacted. So before you plant your carrot seeds, you might want to fluff up that soil a little bit. In areas that I put carrots, I had really good luck with adding coconut core to the top layer of soil. So I just took a coconut core brick, we have them on our website, and I added water to it, obviously, and it expands. And then what I did was I mixed it into that area of the garden that we put our carrot seeds in, and it really did help. I actually had like a paper towel tube of compost. Okay, so similar. Now, a couple things. Carrots, if you have too much nitrogen, could stunt your growth of your carrots. Not saying your compost is too high in nitrogen, but that is one way to troubleshoot. And off the top of my head, just for example, radish, if you have too much nitrogen, you're going to have stunted radish, or if you don't have enough calcium, you can have spindly radish where the root doesn't actually form as much as you have beautiful greens. So those are a couple things to troubleshoot. Again, not saying that's exactly what happened with your carrots, but just one option. Married with Chicken says, I mix coconut core and sand and then add the carrot seeds to that and put in a shallow trench. So again, that is one awesome way of doing it. Okay, so if you had the same problem with your radishes, troubleshooting here, again, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I can tell you what works for me. Either too much nitrogen, not enough, calcium, and then possibly compacted soil. So all of those, again, troubleshooting, you're going to have to figure out. I'm always happy to help, Humble Servant. So again, I did mention earlier in the video, if you have questions that I don't answer, or you have more questions after this, you can always send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. I do actually answer personally your questions and your emails, but if you send me an email and you don't get a response or you don't see a response, please check your spam folder. I have had a couple customers recently mention that they didn't hear back from me and they sent me emails, but then when I said, hey, check your spam folder, they were right there. So I do reach out, I do respond to your emails. So just check your spam folder. All right, so we recently had a couple extra new stuff that we added, and that is the Plant for Pollinators seed mix. Now we have seed combo packs on my website, and those include, I'll show you. Those will include a variety of different packs all together in some type of themed one. So we've got sunflowers, we've got basil, we've got a few of my favorite things, which I created for my birthday, which is in September. I created something called A Few of My Favorite Things, and it is literally a few of my favorite varieties all in one. So that's available on our website. So this one is not. The Plant for Pollinators mix is a flower mix, and it is now available in 1 ounce packs. Now, this is a special request. Customers asked, hey, I don't want to buy a single 200 or 100 seed pack. I want to buy enough to really put a big pollinator area in my garden. So you asked, and I answered. This is available on my website. It includes Plains Coreopsis, which is another one of my favorites, Calendula, which is another one of my favorites, yarrow, crimson clover, purple coneflower, which is also called echinacea, so you might know it by 1 or 2 names, Mexican sunflower, love and a mist, and a bunch of different varieties all in one. and it is hundreds, thousands of seeds. So a single seed pack usually of some of the different flowers is 100 or 200 packs. This is thousands of seeds in one pack mixed. It's not multiple packs, it's in a mix. So that is one of the things that we have for pollinators. Now that's one of many new things. Another, like a request that was made was, tell me how to save seeds. So I have a couple videos, past videos I've already done. I've got a couple articles about saving seeds. A couple new things that we added is these printed seed saving envelopes. So these are fun. These are the same awesome envelopes that I use for our seed packs and I use personally for seed saving. It has information that you can share on the seed variety, the date you collected it, and then crop notes. I sent some of these to my sister. She, in turn, collected some of her fancy pepper seeds that she grew from a friend of hers, and she sent them to me as a gift. And she included crop notes about how long it took her to grow them, what type of environment they grew in, and then also just her little fun notes for me. So this is something that is kind of helpful for people. I get requests on occasion. By the way, while I'm chatting, you're welcome to ask me questions. I do get questions often, and it's like, hey, I planted these seeds and I saved these seeds. What are they? And sometimes I can give you an idea of what type of seed it is. For example, let's see, okra is a very distinctive seed. Tomatoes, a very distinctive seed. Sunflowers, again, a distinctive seed. But I can't necessarily tell you what, if you showed me a bowl of tomato seeds, what specific variety of tomato seeds are. So that's why I recommend writing it down. A lot of times we get people, Denise says, love the crop notes. Thank you. A lot of people save their seeds and we love it. And we encourage that you save your seeds. So we do offer these. You don't need anything fancy. You can write it on an envelope. You can write it on a jar. Sometimes I have a lot of seeds and I'll use, this is what I wanted to show you. I'll use a jar. Now, I don't store this on a shelf with the sunlight in a jar. This is normally in a large bin in the dark in a cool area. So I do put a label on it. And so this is a lot bigger than an envelope. So of course I have it stored in a jar. So that is one of many ways to store your seeds. Now, so tonight's video is Q&A and seed saving kits. So the seed saving kits, we have a giveaway going on right now. If you go to marysheirloomseeds.com and you go to Mary's blog, I have a seed giveaway that will be ending in 2.5, 3 days. So on August 29th at midnight, our seed giveaway ends. I am giving away 4 different packs. Actually, whoever wins gets to choose. We have 6 new seed saving kits, and you get to choose which one if you win. And I just have an example for you. I have a couple here I wanted to share. This one is our Pollinator Garden seed saving kit. So it includes Zinnia California Giant, Mammoth Gray Striped Sunflower, Bachelor Button, which is also called Cornflower, Calendula Mix, and Butterfly Garden Mix. So you have all 5 seed packs. These are individual seed packs. You have instructions on how to grow them. You have 10 seed saving envelopes. You have 10 blank seed saving envelopes. Gotta love these. You have 5 bamboo plant markers, and you have instructions on how to save those seeds. And I did mention our envelopes a little while ago, but I did forget to mention one of the awesome things about our envelopes. They're compostable. So customers have asked, why don't, oh, Tammy says, thank you for so much for the giveaways in your lives. First time I caught you live. Hey, awesome, welcome. So I had a customer reach out to me. They were kind of upset that I didn't store my seeds or sell my seeds in plastic. Humble Servant says, I registered for the giveaway. I think I got a little confused. You're 67 and not very sharp. You're fine. If you didn't enter, it's okay. There's always next time. And if you did enter and it was successful, at the top of the square that says Rafflecopter, there's 12 options to enter, and it'll have, say, a 0/12, and that'll tell you how many entries you have left or how many entries that you have entered. And you don't have to enter every single one. You could literally enter your email address to sign up to win the giveaway, and that's all. You don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops. I try to make it simple for people, and the reason I ask for your email is that's the only way I know to get in touch with you if you win. So make sure you give me the correct email. Now, back to the packaging. Daughter of Zion says, hey Mary, I live in North Florida. Always check out your website. So glad you have a YouTube. I just found you. Well, welcome as well. Speaking of Florida, I wasn't even going to mention this, but I was asked by this holistic house. She created a complete design and guide for a garden, and she asked me to create seed combo packs specifically for her clients. And of course I said yes. She's been a longtime client of ours here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. She loves our seeds. We love our seeds too. And so she wanted to make sure her clients were going to get good seeds for their garden design. So I did recently create 2 new seed combo packs just for her. The cool thing about these seed combo packs is they're not just great for Florida customers. They're great for just about anyone with a warm climate. So California, Texas, Georgia, and even if you're in a cool area, if you want to grow these, you just want to make sure you plan to plant at your specific time. So it's pretty simple stuff, and we love it. And I was mentioning these and I got sidetracked because we're talking about Florida and we're talking about seed giveaways. So the person reached out to me and they were upset that they accidentally left their seeds out and they got wet. And I kid you not, the response was they all germinated. But, I'm like, awesome, yes. But unfortunately, she was upset that if I had packaged my seeds in plastic, that wouldn't have happened. And I wanted to address that. So why don't we use fancy plastic wrapping? Number one, my goal at Mary's Heirloom Seeds has always been to help you grow an amazing, healthy garden. Mary says, I'm in a few Facebook groups and I've always recommended you. They always ask where to buy good seeds. Awesome, thank you. So why don't we package in plastic? Besides wanting to help everybody grow a healthy garden, I also want to help reduce waste. So I don't want to create more plastic that's just going to get thrown in a trash can and who knows how long it's going to take to break down. So our seed pack envelopes can be thrown in your compost bin and you don't even have to worry about throwing it in the trash. So there's 0 plastic in this seed envelope. It is, I want to say non-acidic, but that's not really the word for it. The information's on the website. I'm trying not to get technical with it. But you can throw them in your compost, they'll break down, and it's no big deal. You don't really want to use these to mark your seeds because they're compostable. They will decompose and you will lose your plant marker if you use our envelopes. So that was just one of the awesome things that I love, and I'm not going to go to plastic, besides the fact that I would prefer to offer you awesome seeds than fancy packaging. So that's just my personal thing. Mary says, MJ, I know your name is Mary. She says it's actually better for the seeds to be able to breathe a little. That's what I like as well. So that's fine. Humble Servant says you can't order till September 14th. Not a problem. If you send me an email, I might have a discount code at the time. So just send me an email and I'll respond back and let you know if there's a code you can use to help maybe get your seed budget going a little, make it last a little longer, right? All right, so I think that's it for my video today. I've shared with you the new stuff. We've got new seeds, we've got new information. If you are on social media, if you're on Facebook, I have been sharing a lot of information about the entire life of the plant. So I've actually been creating them myself. and it's a collage of, you're exactly, it's a collage of things. So you have what the seed looks like, what the seed plant looks like as a small seedling, and then what it looks like as it's maturing on the plant. And that gives you an idea, what I call a sneak peek into your seed packs. Married with Chicken says, I love the new setup on Facebook. Thank you. So it gives you an idea, especially for new gardeners. You might not know what these seeds look like. This is a purple potted pink eye cowpea, or a pink eye purple hull cowpea. It goes by multiple names, and that's just what I use. This is what they look like when they're dry. And then on the inside, what the actual seed looks like. So I'm trying to share with you, especially like I said, new gardeners, what this looks like before you get started. And it might help you, one, identify your seeds, and then two, understand what the plant looks like as it's growing. And some of you have been growing for decades. I get emails, they've been growing for probably longer than I've been alive, and that's okay. But sometimes it's nice to see something new, a different look on certain plants and certain varieties. And maybe you've never thought about growing cowpeas. Maybe you don't even know what a cowpea is. I wasn't born and raised in the South. I take that back. I was born and raised in the South, but not your typical South. We live in East Texas now, and I've only been in East Texas now a little over a year. I didn't grow up eating cowpeas and okra. So for some people, that might be new. For some people, it might be maybe not scary, but maybe not something that you're ready to try, but maybe you want to try it because now you see what it looks like, how to grow it, and maybe how to prepare it. So I would love to be able to share more of that information. And if, like I said, if there's questions you have, please send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I do try to answer you as quickly as possible. We do have a seed sale coming up. So I will be posting a seed sale on our website. There's always updates there. And if you sign up for my email, which in the description section of this video, you will find a link to sign up for our emails. And that will give you some information. Every week we send something out. Pickled Servants, Humble Servant says pickled okra. I had pickled okra for the first time, I would want to say about 8 months ago. And it was amazing. I loved it. And it's definitely one of my favorite things now. So I'm going to make pickled okra with habaneros, and I'm going to make pickled okra with cayennes, and also some with jalapenos. So I can get an idea of what level of spice that I want for next year's canning, because I want to make as much pickled okra as I can possibly can myself. And I'm the only one that eats it in this house, so it'll all be for me. All righty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for my live chat. Every week it's something new. 2 weeks ago, we were discussing how we prepare our garden beds for fall. So that's something that if you want to check it out, last week's video. If you want to go on Facebook, there's a lot of live videos as well. For a while, I was only doing Facebook Lives. Now I'm back to doing only YouTube Lives. So there's a lot of information everywhere. And in the description section, you'll also find, like I mentioned, the comprehensive planting guide. Alrighty, everybody, I'm Mary at Mary's Heirloom Seeds signing off. If you've got any questions, send me an email to mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. And I hope you join me next Friday. Today's Friday. It's not my normal day. Please join me next Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time. I'll have a new topic and lots of excitement to share. Thanks, everybody, and happy planting.